Hello and welcome, Barmy Badger Army.
Hey Badger Army.
Welcome once again to the show. Today we are going to be talking about the Spice Girls reunion. We're going to be talking about Katie Price's Haunted Mansion and migraine cures. Because I've had a migraine for about 2 days.
All potential cures welcome in the comments.
Yes, indeed. Please let us know your random witchy remedies. Okay guys, so let's start off with talking about Spice Girls, Nick. And were you a fan of the Spice Girls back in the day?
Sort of. I was more into guitar bands, but I used to follow the top 40 religiously.
Right,
And,
okay.
I mean, I didn't mind them so much. I mean, they were everywhere in like late 1996.
Oh god, yes,
where,
weren't they? Yes.
You could not move for reading stuff about the Spice Girls. In 1997, there was a big backlash against them.
Really?
I think, yeah, there was a big media backlash, and I think people were just a bit sick of them, really. You know, they're just kind of like, they just weren't to people's tastes. I mean, I actually felt quite sorry for them during
Really,
that
it's
time.
quite random
Yeah.
because obviously there was a lot of promotion, there was a lot of stuff going on. I remember them being the most popular band. In fact, I'm sure someone labelled them more popular than the Beatles at one point. And
Yeah,
obviously
I mean,
they've had 2 films, countless #1s, millions of things sold. But I think that it's a shame
Keep going.
with all these different things that have been happening in the media with them, and we'll see what happens. I'm hoping that they do well with this reunion, but obviously Posh has decided to say no, hasn't she?
Indeed. Little tidbit for you. Posh wasn't actually featured. She didn't actually sing on Wannabe, their first ever song.
Really?
That got to #1 in all those countries.
She didn't actually sing, but did she just
No.
mime it, sort of thing?
Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah,
do you think, was she more like the eye candy of the group then?
Not sure. Well, I think they were all meant to be some kind of eye candy. I mean, one of
Well, this
the
is true.
things about them was that they were all very different.
Yes.
Posh Spice actually went on record to say that even though they were a manufactured band,
That's right.
that they came up with all their own images.
That's true. Okay, so they
their
came up with a
image
lot of their own
was
stuff.
you know.
Okay.
And I think, and the fact they were all kind of like, they all had like a different look and stuff like that was, I think, what a lot of people found appealing in them.
I mean, obviously it was that whole thing of like, if you quote unquote fancied one of them, then it was quite good because each one of them had different images and different people to aspire to. So I think it was more along the lines of like, the boys and girls some of them could fancy them, and then the girls and other people would aspire to be like them and stuff like that. So it was a really good formula. I just think some of the music was flawed. I think it was a good idea, but some of the music, I think what happened was, I think some of their actual music got worse as it went along.
Yeah, and the trouble was kind of like all of a sudden every record label tried to get its own Spice Girls.
This is true,
I mean, it was a bit like when Take That took off, and suddenly
there was loads of
every
boy
record
bands.
label needed a boy band.
That's
and it
right.
just led to a lot of really watered down average music in the charts.
I know, and it was very painful, wasn't it?
The late 90s was a terrible time for music.
Really? You think so?
Yeah, there was just a lot of kind of like watered down pop music, a lot of watered down dance.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's one of those things that people. Yeah, I don't remember that era fondly, and I don't think a lot of other people do.
Yeah,
as
I mean,
well.
I do like the indie music from the
Yeah.
90s. That's probably the
Yeah,
only thing
the
I
trouble
really
is
enjoy, the indie and the rock.
It fell in popularity in the late 90s. Mel C was actually quoted in an interview saying, "Yeah, we might be partly to blame for that."
Oh, really?
Yes, because that was when you had all these boy bands and girl groups who were pretty.
Give us some examples. I know there were some pretty bad ones.
Oh man, there were loads of them. I mean, in terms of boy bands,
Yes.
Westlife were just
Westlife, oh dear. And what was the one, the Irish pop girls?
Bewitched.
Bewitched, they were pretty god-awful as well, weren't they? Don't you think?
Man. No, I don't remember them. Either.
Oh,
yeah, it was
God.
just another one of those.
And what was the really random band, like Take Your Shoesies Off and all that sort of stuff?
That was the Cheeky Girls.
The Cheeky
They
Girls!
became popular through kind of like TV talent shows. They turn up at auditions.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
they're the kind of thing that that would never actually go that far on one of those TV talent shows.
Why would you want to have that in your thing? I don't understand it.
Well, it worked for them. They ended up with a couple of funny songs.
This is
You
true.
know,
This is true.
novelty value, but not much else. So with the whole Spice Girls reunion, I mean,
Yeah.
okay. To be honest with you, I don't blame a lot of acts for going back out on tour and stuff because
That's true.
they're not always going to be able to do it.
At the Brentwood Festival, you get loads of people doing
Indeed,
that.
and there's still a market for people who want to listen to them.
This is
You
very
know,
true, yeah.
A lot of people who missed them first time round. You know, I mean, the Spice Girls.
Well, the retro appeal,
The Spice
definitely.
Girls' main target audience was very young girls.
That's right,
You
yeah.
know, many of them, you know, they might not have been old enough to go to
true.
a Spice Girls concert before. So
And now they
might-
can. This is very
Indeed.
true, yeah.
Indeed. So there's that. So you know,
A
there's
new
that.
generation of fans as well.
Yeah.
They want that, don't
Yeah,
they?
but at the same time though, you know, the fact that there's always been talk of like a bit of falling out. You know, it's kind of like with Victoria not joining them. You
Yeah.
know, it's that kind of stuff can end up overshadowing the tour quite a lot.
That's true, that's
you know,
true.
and also kind of like how much it changed. I mean, Mel B is said to be about, you know, over £30 million in debt.
Really?
Because she and her husband split up recently, and apparently she spent her entire fortune.
Why? That's insane. That is actually insane. I, for one, am looking forward to it if it pulls off. And
Are you going to get tickets?
No, I won't be getting tickets. I'll be watching
I
on
won't
TV or something. Let us know if you're into Spice Girls and be getting tickets in the comments below. Next, we're going to be talking about Katie Price's Haunted Mansion. This was new in the news today, and apparently Katie Price's mansion is now haunted. She's been dabbling with the occult, and now apparently there's been photos on Instagram of ghosts and different things like that. And I, for one, am a bit flummoxed with her because if you've got young children in your house, you wouldn't really do Ouija boards and things like that. It's not something I would do. Your thoughts, Nick?
It all ties in nicely with the fact. It all ties in quite neatly with the fact her current squeeze has been a paranormal investigator for over 20 years.
Really? Well, you know, maybe he's just found it, and obviously there was something going on, and maybe she's got to know him through the problem, Nick.
Well, Katie Price, Jordan, as she's also known, she has a bit of a reputation of being famous for being famous.
This
and we
is
haven't
true.
heard much from her recently.
Oh
So
dear. Nick, are you going to be the bad cop on this one?
I don't know, man. It just all seems a little bit too coincidental.
Do you
And it
think-
was Halloween last week.
That's true, yeah.
You
So
know.
do you think it's a bit of a publicity stunt? What do you think?
Well, if it is a publicity stunt, then the papers have lapped it up. So you know, it's not like it's entirely her fault.
No, so it's
You
sort
know,
of
so-
worked in her behaviour.
So I don't know. It seems a bit convenient to me.
So it seems a bit
but-
convenient to you. I think maybe she got to know him through the aspect of it being haunted, and then she's contacted him. You know, I would like to think it's genuine,
Maybe.
but I would definitely say that she should not have practiced Ouija boards and occult stuff around
that's-
young children.
that's too
very,
far.
That
That's
was a bit
definitely too
silly.
far.
I definitely don't think that was the right thing to do. So, you know, I'm a bit disappointed in her for that aspect. But it is a shame, and hopefully they manage to get rid of the ghosts and things like that. So, fingers crossed. And next we're going to talk about migraine cures, Nick.
Yeah. Do you know any migraine cures?
Because I've had one for about 2 days solid.
Yeah. Have you taken any migraine leave?
I have.
Migraines
one
are
of-
a bit more complicated than
One
headaches,
of
though,
yes,
so-
they are. One of our friends told me to lie flat on the bed and make sure the bed's cold. That was something someone told me, and hopefully that would calm it down.
And have you tried that?
I have, and it did ease up, and I did have sort of lots of things like chamomile tea and things like that, and herbal teas. That does seem to have helped a little bit. Try not to have too much medication for it, because obviously, you know, you don't want to go down that route unless you have to. But yeah, so it seems to be easing up. But let us know some of your cures in the comments below, and hopefully I'll feel better soon, because I tell you what, I was streaming last night, and I just about survived an hour odd. before I had to go because my head hurt so much.
Yeah.
It's just one of these things.
Constant exposure to bright flashing screens probably doesn't help that right
No,
now.
it didn't help, but you know, it's just one of these things. But yeah, it was a good session on Friday the 13th, so big shout out to Jim, Retro Gamer, and of course Deluxe Raptor, who joined me last night. But yes, thank you guys for watching, and please let us know your thoughts on Jordan's haunted situation, the Spice Girls reunion, and of course your migraine cures in the comments below. Bye for now, Barmy Badger Army.
Ta-ta, Badger Army.
See you later on, guys. Bye. Bye, everyone. See you soon.